Welcome to Becoming the Beautiful Discovery, the Courage to Wake Up. I'm Renia Bigham, Coach Queenie B, and this is a space for anyone ready to reclaim their power, honor their truth, and rise from survival into self-awakening. I spent many years living by everyone else's rules, invisible in my own life, until holding my newborn daughter changed everything. From that moment, I began to rewrite my story, put myself first, and discover what freedom and beauty really mean. Here, along with Dr. Pat, we explore courage, self-care, and the messy, magnificent journey of awakening. Every scar can be a signature of strength. Every step can be a claim to your own life. This is your invitation to wake up, speak your truth, and become the beautiful discovery you are always meant to be. Becoming the beautiful discovery starts now.
Wow. Hey, everybody. I love that introduction. And of course, you're going to get a lot of Renia today, but I want to start out by saying this episode is very, very important. It's actually personal to me as well. Who is going to save you? And, that is an interesting question that if you grow up in life and you maybe have sort of a bumpy road, are you looking for someone to save you? Are you looking outside of yourself? Are you looking at your neighbor, your best friend? Or if you're like some of us, you're looking at that bottle of booze or that drug that just is going to help you. It's going to save you. And it might for a moment. But what are you being saved from? That's what Raina is going to talk about today. What are you being saved from? Raina and I are here because we want to be here. We heard to be here. And then we signed up to be here. And then the action we took, just the way we were talking on the last show, the lightning in us continues to bring us forward in life, despite what other people may say, despite what you know is not your pathway. What does it take to be that? Raina, thank you so much for today, because I know at points in my life, I've asked for saving. Not
Yes.
in the right way, not in the way I do now, not in the direction that I use now. But who's going to save us? Is the government going to save us? We were just talking on the last show, and Nicole brought up the fact that, in the gay and lesbian community, which she is a part of, people think they've got what they got. And she's saying those things are being walked back.
Mm-hmm.
Are you willing to stand up for yourself again? Or are you waiting for somebody to sweep in and save you? So let's talk about who is going to save you and why this hit your heart today. It's a big one.
Yes. Hello, everybody. How's it going? Well, this hits home because I was looking for somebody to save me, to help me through all of the things that I've gone through and that I have experienced, and whether so what was given to me as a thing to save me would be religion, and going that route. And that is, I know, a very touchy subject for very many people. But what it comes down to is that what I learned was that religion or other people were not going to save me. I needed to save myself. Now, all of these other people and these things around me, they are tools that are meant to help me utilize what I need to do to save myself. But how I saved myself was getting to learn who I am. Because at the end of the day, that's what it comes down to. It comes down to you knowing who you are. So you know what it is that you need that will work for you, that works best for you to help save you. The hardest thing we will ever do in this lifetime is learn who we are. And that's simply because of the way that we have all grown up. We have all grown up with people telling us who we are and who we're supposed to be and the way we're supposed to do it and how we're supposed to show up. And if we do it this way, it's wrong. And if we do it this way, it's right. And if we do it this way, we're going to hell. And if we do it this way, we're going to heaven. But nobody tells you that in order for all of that to happen and to help you, you have to know who you are. You have to know what you're capable of. You have to know. In this past week, I have had so many things happen to me. And in order to help myself, I had to ask for the help because nobody was sending me help. For me to be saved and helped in a situation, I had to have enough courage to ask for help.
Mm.
And that hurt, but I did it because I needed to stay safe. And I was also put in a position where I didn't know how things were going to end up in the end because the situation was kind of dangerous. I know what I'm capable of, and that is what I was afraid of because of the way the situation happened. I would have needed to use parts of myself that are not very pretty.
Yeah.
But I came to a point where I'm like, okay, I know this is what's going to happen. This is what's going to occur. I don't know how I'm going to react or respond. And I need backup and I need to make sure that I am safe and I am protected. And I did what I needed to do to keep myself protected because if I waited for somebody to send me something, if I waited for Yeshua or the gods or the universe or my friend or whatever to send me something, I would have waited for a while.
Yeah.
Even though I was like, I need help. So I had to ask. And that is so important because in that I saved not only myself, but I saved my clients and I saved other people that I worked with because I asked for help.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it is so important to realize that you have to know who you are to know what it is that you need in order to ask for what it is that will help you. But if you're going on the fact of, oh, well, you're supposed to be a lawyer when you get older and, hey, you can't ask for help to be like, hey, is this actually where I'm going? It is so important for us all to start learning who we are, to utilize the tools and the people and the beings around us to help us save ourselves. I'm not here to save anybody. I'm here to help you guys learn who you are. So at the end of the day, you're not conforming. You're not sitting up there giving your power away to other people. You're taking your power back. And you have to do that by learning who you are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What you're talking about too is the fact that you learn who you are and you're taking, I remember Gloria Steinem saying to me once, you need to do something outrageous every day. And I never really understood that. I'm still a work in progress about that. But, I had an incident. I moved back to New Jersey and I'm ultra sensitive to road rage. That's just me. A little sensitive.
With you.
Not so much Linda. And I just have never I hadn't been experienced to anything like this that I felt in danger. But when you talk about feeling in danger, and that's what you were talking about, something, it doesn't matter what that is. Boy, you've got to pull on every tool you have to know what to do. And, it was the silliest thing. I'll tell you, we were driving in a car. I don't even know what Linda did to tick this guy off in a white Lexus SUV. I don't know what we did, but I'm finding out it doesn't take much here. It really doesn't.
Right.
Don't put on your blinker, forget it. They're going to come in. But what happened on the road is this guy got in front of us and started to hit his brakes. And we tried to move away and he moved over. I mean, this was one of the scariest moments. And Both Linda and I have that East Coast thing, but she's got it more than me.
Uh-huh.
And I had to stop and say, please don't engage him. I had to ask for that. Now, you may think that's a silly thing to ask for, but it's not.
No.
Because I could see my best friend driving that car with that
Mhm.
SUV, and actually she's driving my car, and just playing this chicken game with a crazy person on the
Right.
middle of Route 22, 55 miles an hour, stopping the car.
Mm.
Then, and, but in that moment,
Mm.
you have to ask. And I
Mhm.
said, please help me here. Let's slow down, let him do his thing. And at the last minute, get off at this exit, please.
Right.
See, that may
Right.
sound benign, but that's a big move. Just like in your
Right.
case, it's a big move.
Right. Right. That there's I'm not exactly sure how the parable goes, but it's the one where there's a storm coming, and this they get the warnings, you got to go, and this person decides they're going to stay at home because God's going to save me. And God basically already told you, hey, you got to go, but you're going to stay at home. And so then all of a sudden it's flooding. He's on his roof, and, they send a boat, and he's like, no, I'm good. God's going to save me. And then God sends a helicopter. Dude says, good, I'm good. God's going to save me. And he dies, and he goes to heaven. And he goes, God, why didn't you save me? And God's like, I gave you a warning. I sent you a boat, and I sent you a helicopter. What else am I supposed to do? You have to take
Exactly.
the step. You have to take the step to save yourself. You have to. And you have to be willing to do it. No matter what anybody thinks out there, you know what is best for you. And if you don't, this is where learning who you are comes in. It is a one step at a time process. This is not easy. It
No.
is not easy learning who you are, learning what you like, learning, what is going to make you safe, and what is going to help you in saving you in whatever circumstance. We have been taught that as we grow up, to ask for help is shame. To ask for assistance is, oh my God, you can't do it on your own. What's wrong with you? Why don't you know how to do this? Why is it necessary to put a child up into a grown up into this position to where we get to where we are right now, and nobody knows who they are or how to take care of themselves or how to save themselves, because asking for help is shameful. There's nothing wrong with asking for help. It's about learning and figuring out exactly who it is you need to ask for that help
Yeah.
from. And then when it comes to you, accepting it.
That's the key part, though. That second part is it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because it didn't matter to me what move Linda was going to make,
Right.
right? But here's the thing that you're talking about that I love, and I learned the lesson the hard way. I am 36 years now in being sober. I'm longer than that in being clean. But I remember Betty Ford, I think it was. Please fact check that for me, Emily. Betty Ford came out and said, just say no.
Mm.
What? Come on now. And by the way, back in the Betty Ford day, it was a whole lot easier to say no.
Mm.
Right
Mm.
now, you can dial in on your drugs with just a little thing on your phone. But what I learned is when I did make the decision to stop, I could not do it alone,
Right.
nor could I do it in a way that I had been used to living my life. And by the way, when you go through a process of transformation like that, I don't care if it's sober, I don't care if you have a child, whatever that process is, you come out different and you see the
Mm-hmm.
world different. And I had
Mm-hmm.
never seen the world sober since I was age 6.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
when that happens, you're like, what is going on? That's a
Right.
Marvin Gaye song,
Oh,
right? What's
right.
going on? And then you realize you're not going to be able to do this alone.
Mm.
What was the lesson for you in both the asking and the accepting part? Because you can ask and then
Mm.
somebody offers and you're like, no, 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 I don't want that one. Give me this other one. What is acceptance about for you?
Oh, wow. That's a very good question, Dr. Pat.
Well, look, I asked for help and I got the toughest sponsor on the planet in my first year,
Right.
right?
Right.
But I wanted like Sweetie over there, right? That
Mm.
everybody wanted. No, I got a tough bearded guy,
Yeah.
right? But
Yeah.
that's what I was supposed to get.
Right. Well, I don't know. I know that in the situation, even though I was calling for help, the help I got I wasn't expecting. Um,
Wow.
at which
Hmm.
point um, I called and I'm on my way.
There you
I
go.
was like, oh, okay. At which point it gave me a moment to go, wow, this now accepting isn't always easy, especially when you haven't
Nope.
always asked for the help. And so when somebody's like, I'm on my way, and you've never
Yep.
received that before, to be like, oh, wow, okay, I went through so many different emotions in that moment before he got there. And then when he got there, he was balls to the wall, ready to protect me. And I was like, oh my God, thank you,
Right.
and he supported me and made sure that everything was good. And by accepting it just means it's okay. you know it's okay that this person is willing, because they're willing to do it,
Yeah.
and they care for you and they want to make sure you're good. And so accepting it helped a whole weight be lifted off of my shoulder,
Hmm.
and it helped me in a way be able to go, okay, I've got this situation. you know I was able to work through it. I was able to take care of my people the way that I needed to. He didn't do anything but stand back and watch and make sure all was good. And then I had other people show up for me in ways, just by sending me messages, and the amount of love and care and support that I got from the people that I worked with, and the people uh, that I work with as the clients, not only my coworkers,
Hmm.
it it was absolutely beautiful,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know. And it's all because I accepted it. Because if I would have fought it, I'd have been like, no, I can do it on my own. I don't need you.
Exactly.
And the thing is yeah, I could have, but why? Just because you can doesn't mean you should.
Yeah. Yeah. But it's the whole rowboat warning, rowboat helicopter story.
Right, right,
Sometimes we don't get to say how that support is going to show up
right.
or
And it's
who
not
it's going to
weakness.
be.
Right. And it's not weakness by accepting it.
Of course, it's not. Look at, I love some of these stories that we mentioned, the
Mhm,
helicopter. But I was talking to a friend of mine because this was Easter, and some of my friends celebrate Easter in their
mhm,
very special way.
mhm.
And we had a conversation. I said, I'm getting ready to do the show on who's going to save you. And I got to say something. See, we talk about Jesus walking the earth like there ain't nobody around him. But the smartest thing he ever did was surrounding himself with people that were going to help him, including Mary Magdalene. He
Exactly.
surrounded himself and even
Exactly.
his enemies. He
Mhm.
crossed a country to
Yes.
go to a well to sit and talk to a woman who was tainted and be the first to hear from him he was the Messiah. And I
Exactly.
just figured if he could do it, I can do
Right.
it.
Right.
And it's not
Ask
just
for
him,
help all
every
the time.
tradition, right? And you know this, every spiritual tradition has stories like that.
Hmm. Right. Right. He asked for help. I don't know why so many people out there act like Yeshua, Jesus, whatever you want to call him, why he didn't ask for help or he did it all on his own. He literally had a team of 12. He was the 13th. There was 13 of them. He used them and
Yep,
allowed them to help him and assist him as well as he did for them. And even when he had to talk to God, he had moments where he was mad. God didn't just come down and save him. He had to do the steps. He had to use the people and the beings around them.
yep,
And he was kind and he was generous and he was loving and he didn't come at you ugly unless you came at him ugly.
exactly. And you know what I love about this story is we have to be able to communicate, and that's at the crux of this. Whether we're communicating with ourselves to figure ourselves out at any given point in time, or we're communicating in a way where we express how much help we really need. Now, clearly,
Yes.
my best friend knew I was scared to death of this. And I
Right.
knew that this was not going to end well. You
Right.
know, somebody stopping a car on a highway that is
Mm,
supposed to be at 55 miles an hour, knowing you're
right.
behind him and there are 50 other cars behind you, there's
Yes.
something not right with them.
Right.
And with us, when we look within, we know it's not right within us in our lives.
Right.
We know what we can do, and we know what we need the help of others to do. And you
Right.
see, what you're talking about is so important because so many people during COVID had to do it themselves. See, I
Yes.
think that was we're coming out of a fundamental point in time with COVID where
Mm-hmm.
people got this sense of independence and I can do it.
Mm-hmm.
And human beings have never been able to do things by themselves. We wouldn't be here.
Right.
You
Right.
know, when we had to fight a big lion, unless you were a big lion, you had a tribe, you
Right.
had people, you had community.
Right. Right.
My friend said to me, I would like to get your take on this. My friend said to me the other day, she said, Pat, do you think we're losing our sense of community? And I said, I know in my cultures, I think we are. I think we've moved away from each other, but I'm hoping with communication, and that was an upside of COVID. It brought people back in that we don't never went to visit.
Right.
But you're saying you can't do it alone. So how
No.
do you want to talk to people today and invite them to join your perspective on help, support, and acceptance?
I think no, I don't think I know. The first step is having the courage to just ask. Is to have the courage to ask.
Mm-hmm.
To have the courage to reach out to somebody and go, you know what, I'm having a hard time.
Yeah.
And I just and most of the time you don't even actually need somebody to do something for you. You just need somebody to listen.
Yeah.
You just need somebody to listen. And you know, if you are realizing and recognizing that the people in your life aren't willing to listen, this right here is your lesson in learning who's going to save you. That means you
Yeah.
need learning to look for people who are going to help you if these people aren't. And it doesn't mean they're bad people. It just means they're not on the same wavelength
Well,
as
they're
you.
not your people.
And and right. And you need more assistance. You need more care. You need more love. And of yeah, we've lost community. That's the number one thing the government and others have wanted us to do is to lose community because the moment the 99% of us realize that when we come together and we help each other and we support each other, they have no power. So yes, we were losing
Yeah.
community, but I think it's slowly coming back. But it
Yeah.
comes down to the fact of stop putting labels on everything. Everybody needs to come together, not just this group or not this group or just this group. All of us. When there's a natural disaster, what happens?
Yeah,
Everybody comes together. And
that's right.
that's what we need every day, all day, no matter what, is for all of us to come together.
You know, we could take a page out of the playbook from one, the Hawaiian culture and the Hawaiian people and the natives here, First Nation, right? We could take a
Mhm.
page out of that playbook because we have watched people be persecuted for who they were and lands being taken and the color of your skin or what you practice.
Mhm.
But if you spend any time with indigenous people, what you learn is you are family.
Yes.
They will be there for you. There's something about it. And you and I both know that there have been people that have been so mistreated,
Mhm.
not just worldwide, but I really would love people of all kinds to find
Yes.
common ground and come together.
We all bleed red.
Yeah, we do.
We all bleed red. We all have pain. We all have experienced certain things together. And it has nothing to do with the color of our skin
No.
or our religion or our sex, who we're sleeping with. It has nothing to do with any of that, because at the end of the day, we all bleed red. We all come together as one,
Mm.
and this world will start to become different. Instead of fighting each other and allowing all of these entities to tell us, oh, this is how you're supposed to be. Oh, you're not supposed to like them because of this, or you can't like them because of that. What?
I know
We're all
exactly.
supposed to be different. You know, you're a beautiful, wonderful woman, and you're so different in your way, and so am I. And the fact that we can come together and do this, oh my gosh,
I know it.
you know?
Wow. Thank you so much for this. I want to make sure people know, one, how do they work with you as a coach? How do they find you? How do they follow you on social media? What's the best way to do it? And by the way, people should know you're Coach Queenie B.
Coach Queenie B. That
Okay.
is me. You can reach me at coachqueenieb.com, and that will take you to my website, at which point it's got all of the links for TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. If there's any more, I don't know.
It's all
Um,
there.
yes. And, if you need a consultation, call me, get in touch with me. We can do a consultation. I'm even doing to where, we can do something for an hour and you don't have to have a consultation if you just need to talk. I am here to help support you learn who you are so you can save yourself, so you can show up 100% in the way that best works for you. And when you're at 50 and you recognize it because you know who you are, you're like, I don't got this today. And that's why I'm here, so I can help you, learn. I can't tell you who you are, and I'm not here to judge you, but you can tell me who you are, and we can work through that.
Well, I'll tell you, I am still a work in progress and I'm loving every minute of
Oh
it.
yes, me too. Me too. You never stop. You never stop.
Thank you, Coach. Thank you for a very powerful show. And it is so important because as adults, we're not demonstrating
Mm,
for our youth
yes.
how to do this. They
Yes.
see you stoic on your phone, but they don't see you asking for help when you need it. And therefore, they are not learning how to ask you as a parent for help.
Right.
We'll see you
The
next
best.
time, everybody.
Exactly. Thank you.
Thank you for listening to Becoming the Beautiful Discovery with me, Coach Queenie B and Dr. Pat. Join us the first Monday each month at 11 a.m. Pacific time to embark on this journey of courage, awakening, and self-discovery. If today's episode inspired you, take a moment to like, share, and subscribe so others can join the movement too. For more resources, tools, and inspiration, visit CoachQueenieB.com. Remember, visit CoachQueenieB.com. And remember, your journey is your power. Keep waking up, claiming your truth, and becoming the beautiful discovery you are always meant to be.